Hello, welcome to Latest Wealth. I'm KAILAS here, I'm financial advisor as well as wealth coach. My dear friends, these episodes for stock market for beginners. Most of the people they may be saying directly invest in that so and so stock, so and so stock, so and so stock. But I say first you should have a proper knowledge before you are investing. As Warren Buffett said, investment means you should understand simply you are not putting the money, you are becoming official partner of one company. That means first you should know about the company where you are going to invest. Before knowing the company, you should know in which sector you are going to invest. Regarding this, in earlier episodes we are given about airlines sector. This episode we are going to share about aluminium and aluminium industries. Let us start. My dear friends, let us know about aluminium and aluminium sectors, how it is going to perform in future. And in this episode, as we said, we are going to discuss about the 5 points. One is about future prospects of aluminium industry, then advantages of the aluminium sector, then disadvantages of aluminium sector, as well as key points to note and who are the main players in aluminium sector. My dear friends, every day you might be watching the newspapers, or you may be new to this one, you might be watching CNBC or you may be reading regular newspapers, and sometimes you might be finding some sector is bad performance, some sector is good performance. Then you may be wondering, what is this sector, right? Already in earlier episodes we have discussed about what is meant by sector. Please watch if you are not understand. In this one, aluminium comes under, in our India especially in BSE and NSE, the two major stock exchanges. This comes under sector group is basic materials. Classification is commodity business. Now let us see what is the future prospects of aluminium. Now tell me, you might be using aluminium, right? Sometimes in the house, sometimes in the office, sometimes in the factories, wherever you are. Just use your common sense in which areas aluminium can be used. Either its demand will increase or decrease, whether the usage is going to be more or less. Use your common sense. My dear friends, naturally what happened now, I want to show you in 4 points where aluminium future is there. One is economic growing. Yes, now because you know that the population is growing, economy is growing, and people's spending habits are also changing, and naturally it also going to affect with the aluminium usage also. So what happened, when the population is growing, when the free cash flow is going, there is a more need of more automobiles, because aluminium is used in a lot of automobiles. Automobile sector, aluminium is being used. So 1 point in aluminium. Next, generally if you go to office, have seen you lot of glass buildings, and where the frames are made up of aluminium, some of the aluminium handles, alright, and aluminium sheets. So when the offices are increasing, usage of aluminium is also keep on increasing. Next, when it comes to housing, just check it out where you are using the aluminium. Next, let us go to second point. As I already discussed, the population is growing and disposable income is also growing. Naturally, it leads to more usage of aluminium. Third point. Now tell me, in our country, villages are growing or urban population is growing? You obviously say urban. Yes, when more urbanization, just think more aluminium is being used or not. Yeah, when you go to restaurants, when you go to hotels, when you go to any shops and all, aluminium partitions, aluminium vessels, a lot of aluminium is being used. So this is also a plus point. Next, one more fourth is automobiles and construction industry, a lot of aluminium is being used. Now let us see what are the advantages of aluminium sector. Very strong and growing demand, as already we discussed, very strong and growing demand huge and growing the demand for housing and office expenses. This is second advantage. 3 is very high demand for organized retail sector. So this is also one plus point for aluminum. What is the fourth point? Generally what happens, it is a low cost compared to foreign companies. Because what happened in our India, self-sufficient of bauxite, we are having lot of bauxite ore available, and most of the companies, they are integrated with mines as well as a factory and business. So when compared to other countries' production, our Indian company's production cost is cheaper. So this is one advantage. Now let us go to disadvantages. Here, aluminum sectors needs a lot of energy. It is energy intensive sector. So whenever the crude oil prices changes, it will affect cost of production of aluminum, as well as whenever the coal prices fluctuates, it affects the cost of aluminum production. So what happened? These fluctuations directly, they are having impact of profits margin of any company. When already know that when the profit margins are fluctuating, stock prices also keep on fluctuating. So it depends on the energy consumption and power consumption. The disadvantage in India is that there is a heavy shortage of power. So what is happening is the shortage of power is directly affecting aluminum industries. Some of the states, they are buying the electricity with high cost and they are supplying the aluminum industries with the high cost. The high cost for the power supply is eating away their profits. So this point you have to consider when you are picking for the sector. Third factor which affects the disadvantage is volatile price in raw material. Yes, my friends, some of the companies, they are having integrated with the aluminum mines, that means the raw material which is bauxite mines. Whereas some of the companies, they are not independent, they are dependent on the raw supply material. When the raw supply material prices are fluctuates, it affects the cost of production as well as it affects a lot of other fundamental factors like inventory ratio, return on investment. These are all going to affect. Next point. Generally, one more disadvantage of aluminum industry is generally it will be negative impact. There will be negative impact when environmentalists, some people who are social activists, when they start playing, when they start doing any associations. So it is directly related with environment pollution and pollution factors. So directly it affects the price of raw material as well as there may be chances of fluctuations in the stock price. Fifth point is it depends on the government policies, because whenever the government changes, the change of government may lead to change of policies, because there is uncertain policies as well as when it comes to mining, rights issues, policies, so much of restrictions on cost, restrictions on mining, restrictions on transport, restrictions on environment, restrictions on pollution, like a lot of restrictions, they are going to affect the aluminum industry. These are the disadvantages we have discussed. Now, what are the key indicators for this stock market, especially stock sector? Let us. Here what happens is London Metal Exchange. Generally what happens, all the prices are being almost controlled and governed by the London Metal Exchange. So your key is with London Metal Exchange, right? Who are the competitors in this field? My dear friends, when you go into Bombay Stock Exchange or NSE Stock Exchange, just type it and you will come to know who are the competitors in this one. Let us have some brief look of one or two people who are into aluminum industries. One is Hindalco. Market capitalization is 417.69 crores and sales turnover is 45,749.16. Net profit is 1205.43. Total assets is 68,086.7. This is as on 5th of June 2019. Next competitors is Nalco. Next is Mon Aluminium. Next, Manaxia Aluminium. My dear friends, hope this episode was useful. Once again, we are going to create one more episode because it takes a long time to do research. These episodes gives you only brief idea. In next episode, that's part 2 of aluminum. You can have some more details. Keep watching. Please share and subscribe with your friend. Thank you for watching. Till we meet again, enjoy every bit of life. Have a nice day. and bye bye. Thank you very much.